What's happening and how are you guys doing today? Is Thought Bubble TV coming right back at you. So I've been playing a lot of older video games lately, and is it just me? Or did video games, and more specifically video games with multiplayer game modes, just used to be a lot more fun and varied? Now, don't get me wrong, there are loads of fantastic, and I mean fantastic, local multiplayer games on the market right now. Just look at Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because those are kind of the pinnacle of those couch co-op local multiplayer experiences that we've come to know and love. It's just that playing these newer local multiplayer games, they don't seem to evoke the same levels of sheer joy and wonder that the older games used to. So that's kind of what I want to address today in this video, is what happened to the variety and the enjoyment games have in their local multiplayer game modes. So without further ado,
let's just jump into it.
Now I think it's pretty obvious that the reason for this slow death of local multiplayer and couch co-op games is in large part due to the hands of the explosive growth of online multiplayer games. Now, some of my absolute fondest childhood memories lie within the realms of playing Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube, Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS's local multiplayer, or even just playing King of the Hill endlessly on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I would get together borderline religiously with my friend to check the old Smash Bros. Dojo website to see all of the new character reveals, looking at all the crazy cool secret fighters like Lucario or Wolf, the new stages, and I would just absolutely crave going over to his house, or have him come over to mine, just so that we could play his copies of Smash Bros. Melee, leading up to Smash Bros. Brawl coming out, or even Pikmin 2. And can I just say, and this is just a minor tangent, but for real though, does anyone else remember the two-player battle mode in Pikmin 2? Because it was so frustratingly fun. Like, I would always get so mad because my friend, he would always give me a few handicap Pikmin because he was so much better at the game than I was, because, you know, it was his game, it wasn't mine, he had a lot more practice, yada yada. But he always still beat me, even giving me those handicaps, so it was really rubbing salt in the wound. So whenever I was at his house, we would play for so long, because all I wanted was to beat him once. Just once. And when I was finally about to achieve the seemingly unattainable, without any handicaps, might I add, my friend got so mad that legit he unplugged my controller so I couldn't win, and then quickly turned off the system. So even though I never got to see those wonderful, wonderful bubble layers pop up on my lower half of the screen, because I was player 2, because of course I was, I knew in my heart that I had finally beaten him literally at his own game, whether he would admit it or not, and he, let's be honest, he never admitted it. But why am I telling you all of this? What does this have to do with online multiplayer games and the fall, the crash, the burn of local multiplayer modes in video games? Well, simply put, I think that with the ridiculous success of online-only games like Overwatch, Destiny, Fortnite, and even Splatoon, where games of the past like Fable 2, Pikmin 2, or even Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days will include the completely unnecessary potential for playing with a friend on the same console, more and more often games are scrapping these kinds of fun, unneeded, but certainly welcome features in favor of including online interactions with other players instead of that more local, personal kind of mode. Now, we still have incredibly fun games like Smash Ultimate, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Diablo 3 to kind of scratch that itch to play games with friends. But let's be honest. For the most part, we now live in a world where instead of just playing video games together with your friends together on the couch, you can just jump into a game of Fortnite whenever you please and settle for voice chat, which is so much less fun, less personable, and if you get mad, you can just disconnect. You don't actually have to deal with losing or anything like that. So, in my opinion, that makes this all a lot less just fun. Slowly fading away are the days where you can just sit on the couch for hours with your friends, playing the silly game modes thrown into the game just for the heck of it. And I know what you all might be thinking right now. You're probably thinking something along the lines of, but Far Cry 5 has a fantastic local multiplayer mode included in the game, and Nintendo's still constantly churning out local multiplayer classics. Dude, are you sure you're not just being nostalgic? And to that, I would like to say, you are absolutely right. Far Cry 5's co-op mode, while I've never personally played it, seems like a ton of fun. And Nintendo seems like the last company that has a real vested interest in making games with local multiplayer included. It could even be argued that, yeah, I am just being nostalgic for my childhood, and I'm seeing all of these old games through rose-tinted glasses. I mean, can't we have both? Oftentimes in the past, the most unnecessary of multiplayer experiences in games, which is the most fun. Now don't get me wrong, sometimes it is fun to watch someone else play a game when you're hanging out, and yeah, maybe some of these modes weren't the most balanced or polished, but what's so wrong with wanting the option to be able to play against or with your friends, if you want to, in just a dumb, silly game mode? I crave a return to the days that games would just slap a multiplayer mode just for the heck of it. I liked having the option to play with my friends in games that weren't always the sole focus of owning the game. Bring back the silly, completely off-the-wall, out-of-nowhere game modes like Cops and Robbers in Sly 3, or the hacking game from Sly 3, or the battle mode in Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, the missions from Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. They may not have been what some people would say is great, but they were good. They were fine to play for a while, and they achieved what they needed to. They were fun. A fantastic example of this in the modern-day gaming landscape is Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. You can play with your friend or a family member, 2 players. You can both interact with the game, and it's not necessary. It makes the game a lot easier, but it's just for fun. And that's all I want in games, is that option. It doesn't need to add an entire layer of depth to the experience. It doesn't even need to add that much at all, even if it's a little bit of extra fun. I would love to see more games in the modern day add these extra game modes, add these options for local multiplayer. We can get back to the days where you don't have to be hooked up to the internet to have fun with someone else in a video game. But those are just my thoughts on the matter, and I would love to hear yours. Do you agree with me and think that more games need these kind of fun, frivolous game modes that aren't entirely necessary but will definitely add an extra layer of fun if you want it? Or are these kind of a relic of the past and should just kind of stay there? Comment your thoughts down below, and while you're down there, why not give this video a like? Or a dislike. I won't twist your arm. So, have a great one, guys. Peace!